So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time we left off while doing some quests for the Marauders, and this time we're going to continue with some of those quests. So let's go over here and talk to Windsoroan. Axemaster wishes you to experience a traditional Marauder training method. You approach me with the Marauder's strides, determined, unnerving, and bereft of hesitation that's marked our first meeting. I'm pleased. The time has come for you to begin a new state in your training. Now what sets the axe aside from the gladius or the dagger, it is the raw, unstoppable destruction wrought by its thick, heavy blade, and that overwhelming power can only be properly directed by an extraordinary physical strength. Thus we come to the core of this day's lesson. Such strength as Marauder must possess is developed through traditional methods passed down through the generations of the guild, a method that you too shall be taught to employ. Present yourself to Broenbar in the practice area downstairs, and he shall instruct you further. This way. The Axemaster told me you'd be on your way. My name's Brobar. It's good to meet a new Marauder. How did he tell you? I came down here first. I didn't see him blitz by. Now, we axe builders build strength and control by splitting boulders. That's right, our traditional method involves smashing a rock with your axe, because that won't cause it to dull. But you can't use any old swing. You need to hit the rock just so. Rottenheim, a few Marauders, is waiting just outside the Zephyr Gate by the bridge over by the Rogue River. She'll tell you how it's done. Alright, so speak with Rogtime. Who is where? Oh, she's gonna be outside the city. So we'll get up here and then we'll teleport. Or, I forget, we can actually leave the town via the gate now. Since we got them all unlocked, we can do this. I don't have to walk all my way out anymore, I can just leave. Also, since these are part of the quest to kill, and they're right here. Like I said, if I see it on my to-do list, I'll cross it off. Okay. The debug's done. Where is she? There she is. Greetings. Ready to split some stone, are you? I have 3 nice hard rocks for you to build up a sweat on. Don't try nothing fancy now, just hit him with a good solid heavy swing. Destroy your axe in the process, hence why we're giving you a new one. You are on my to-do list. It really is. Am I too high to do this one? I don't think I am. No, I'm not. Cool. these do I need to kill before the fate's over? I've got 6 minutes on it. A little over halfway. A few. Probably 1 or 2 and it'll be done for the fate. They'll all run as soon as I finish them off for the quest. There we go. Fate completed. 560 experience and 14 gold. And there they all go. Bye-bye. Because they're all related to the fates, and as soon as the fates are either completed or the time runs out, they flee. That's the way to do it. Now you've got the idea, why don't you have them a little harder with that heavy swing of yours? Hold nothing back. Basically destroy more rocks. Which already makes me question what metal this thing is made out of that it can destroy rocks, but I digress. I can see you're a natural. My head's still ringing with the sound of cracking boulders. Take yourself back to Axeman, where's no one, and let him know you're ready for something harder. Okay, I'm actually going to go back first. Because when plot continues, I'm going to want a slightly better weapon. So, that being the case, I'm going to scurry my booty back to town. And it wants, alright, I can just warp. It's not a big deal. As the training loosened your muscles and focused your mind, an urgent request for help has arrived from the Red Rooster Stead, and I've chosen you to respond. It appears a hostile group of megalocrabs has unwittingly elected itself next as your test of prowess. As this is your first outing on an unofficial marauder duty, I shall be accompanied by the veteran conjurer by the name of Skullwib. She awaits you on the floor below. May devastation follow in your wake. Floor below. I assume they mean down here again. Aye, I know who you are. My brother often has me escort his fledgling marauders on the more dangerous tasks. I suppose Wisnoran expects me to give you the details then. Very well. It seems the farmers need us to clear the megalocrab nest near the Morning Widow in Lanasi. I shall trust you to find your own way there. Just don't forget your axe. Yeah, unfortunately, this one's gonna be like a lot of back and forth. That's, yeah, it's a ways off in Lanasi. Likewise, I could potentially get a few more of these done. I know there's, down here at the Armory Guild, I had a quest I can get completed. Since we're here. A new boat for the Fisherman's Guild. I'm afraid just now isn't the best time. We've already done this dialogue. This task alone has our hands full. Well, I'll look and see what I can do. The Fisherman's Guild has long been one of the best clients. I would be loath to disappoint Sisboo. May yet take a while, but I shall endeavor to have her boat ready in a timely fashion. Alright, choose whichever one you want. I'll go with potions for now. I feel dumb for not realizing that's what it was. And, good morning, ZT Freak. We're still at the very beginning of the game, as noted by me being level 9. Okay, Stillwern. That's gonna be over at the farms. So let's head out to the, what is this? Lower Lanasi. We can head to Middle Lanasi after that part's done, since I really need that new axe. And of course, obviously being day one, my fashion is not going to match my own choices. Go Megalocrab Nest. Looks as if nobody's home. Mayhap they knew we were coming. Ah, aid! I need aid! Oh, please, it's my grandson. Them snipers got him. I told Sighard not to get too close. I told him. Get that weapon ready. We need to move. Now. Young boy, surrounded by crabs. Level sinks to 9 automatically. Duty calls. Commence battle for Axe in the Stone. Level sync is in effect. If you are above the maximum allowed level, it will be synced as follows. So if you are level 12, for example, it will sync you back down to 9. So you'll always get this for certain story quests. Otherwise, you'd breeze through them too easy. What's the lore behind this OC? Mostly just myself for this particular character, combined with a lot of the character aesthetics that I've used for over 15 years now. Ah, bugger and shite. Get away from me, you bloody great bastard. So truth be told, not too different from the original character you saw. However, this design you might see incorporated in other games as well as avatar profiles. Hence why they just have my name. Alright, kill the crabs! Use some armor and use that berserk as it winds up and down. Get that additional damage, because it's level 15, so let's try not to die. Also, your skills are attuned with your levels, so if your level decreases below the point where you normally have a skill, that skill will not be available for this quest. However, you will get to keep the good weapons. Ah, shoot. What about over here? Okay, he's fine. I'm used to further in the game where I do have to, like, keep an eye on everybody, especially as a tank. If you don't want to monitor anybody else's stats besides your own, play DPS. Because healer and tank both have to keep an eye on every other member in the party. Ah, thank you. I thought I was dead for sure. I can't even play outside no more, what with all these scary monsters about. Me ma and Da, they were both killed by some nasty bugger not so long ago. An aurochs, big as a mountain. But I bet you could beat it. Aye, make it pay for what it did to me, folks. You take it easy now, son. There's a whole guild full of strapping lads and lasses like Bren here who'll be glad to do just that. All you need to do is head home to your grandpa. You let us worry about that nasty bugger. You play white mage? There's no issue with that, though. It's just that if you play a white mage, you do have to keep an eye on party members. That's literally part of the job. Hence, people who are good at it, possibly like yourself. Consider your first duty as success, Bren. It's time we head back as well. Before Wisnoan begins to worry, I've left your corpse for the crabs. In this playthrough, I'm probably going to pick 3 main jobs. Like I said, a DPS, a tank, and a healer. I haven't fully decided which of those to do yet. I know for what I'm going to be for DPS. Since it's a skill I possess in real life. Hint, hint. I will eventually omni-class everything for story purposes. Though, like I said, I might make those their own videos. I'm not sure yet, just to cut down on the grind time on screen. But tank is obviously going to be warrior. But there is a DPS and a healer to come, just in case I need them for other things. You really liked the OST before the AST or the OST before the Endwalker update? I do like the music in this game, it is quite soothing. Astrologian! Oh! Yeah, I've never played Astrologian yet, so I do not know what that one entails. Let's go back to the Marauders Guild, get my axe, and that'll make me more equipped to handle the main story quest, since, like I said, you want to have your weapon be no less than 10 levels different from you at the beginning of the game. So, you've shattered the shells of the megalocrabs and saved the life of a child into the bargain. Thus does our violent craft prove its merit. Well done. Though no longer a threat to the farmers, you should know it is unusual for such crabs to be found near the stead. By all accounts, these creatures were ousted from their feeding grounds by a more fierce beast. The beast of which I speak is a known terror of the lands of Lanasi, ever seeking to expand its territory. And that boy's parents were but 2 of the many victims to fall to its rampages. It is a threat that must be dealt with ere long. Do thoughts of vengeance flit through your mind? Nurture those urges, but do not yet act upon them. This monstrosity is far beyond your present skills. If you would answer the lad's cry for revenge, then you must grow stronger. Become the raging behemoth this challenge demands. Alright, and I get to pick one of these. Only one. Negatives. I've been doing other quests. Is it worth it, though? I don't really think it is. I might just go money for now. You can now accept the next class job quest. And we learned a new skill, Overpower. What does that do? That does... Whoops. That's our multi-hit. As well as Tank Stance for dungeons. Sorry, boys. Didn't mean to slap y'all with my axe. Beast Gauge unlocked. This symbol indicates the defensive stance, defiance, and this is effect, which increases enmity. Enmity is what draws enemy attacks towards you, the tank. You can view the job gauge description at any time from the Actions and Traits menu. Okay. So, I usually have this somewhere else, since once it's turned on, it kind of stays on. So I'll just stick that there for now. Wake of Destruction. Wizroan wishes to speak with you regarding your ongoing training. I have gathered what information I could concerning the beast that you, Sighard, bade you slay. The tale's name's creature is Kujata. Those who have witnessed Kujata in the terrifying flesh also call him the Stampeding Mountain, such is his immense size and bulk. Again, I will not seek to dissuade you from claiming vengeance for the boy's parents. In fact, I encourage it. But to topple this lumbering colossus, you must first become his equal in strength and ferocity. A single step towards that distant goal, I send you to Blind Iron Mines. We've had work that folk are falling prey to the claws of the local Galagus. It is your task to protect the weak from these unruly creatures. Learn to channel the rage inside you, and let your axe blades sing in righteous slaughter. Yeah, thankfully I do know what all the classes do, if only for a YouTube series made by a YouTuber called JoeCat. I highly recommend them, as they're funny AF, but also very informative to picking your class. Let's see. Speak to Stalwern. Fun fact, he's around here somewhere too. Okay, so that's gonna be over here. That's gonna be out in Lower Lanasi. Let's just go to Lower Lanasi for now. We're on a quest. You're gonna find that this game pulls my attention in every direction, so nothing will be coherent. So let's also change out our axe to the better one, +3. Not the best, but hey. And then the other one, this one, you can just ditch these. Discard, yeah, goodbye. I do not need a worse weapon, and you can't really sell them if they've already been attuned to your character, so yeet! Apparently there's some other quest down here. That's probably going to be its own thing. Where the heck am I going? I'm going to the Gallic Ghost. Did I come out the right? Yeah, okay, it's just going to be up. Oh, I miss my Chocobo so much. But alas, since we are noobish, we're going to have to hoof it. Yeah, normally with this character, I attune them to fire element stuff, simply because my name does mean fiery passion, like my actual name, Bren. Hence why I tend to give this character, or this OC specifically, fire-attuned things. As well as just the ability to go bonkers berserk, which, guess what? Marauder! Berserk! It fits! Ooh, I could probably get this all in one go. We're good for Mandragoras? Yeah, we're good for Mandragoras. I'm not going to go out and hunt them deliberately quite yet, but if I see him, I'm obviously going to nab him, because why not? If it's right in front of me. Of course, the flip side of passion is obsession, so that kind of factors into the character design as well. And because obsession, and thereby passion, is one of the great sins in my culture, similar to, like, the 7 deadly sins in Western culture, I tend to have my character be somewhat of a dark theme as well. Having my character be Moon Tribe kind of factors into myself at the same time. I know that they're more like traveling mercenaries and gunk, and yeah, I kind of left my own family gunk behind and said screw that, so it sort of fits the lonerness of my character as well. Rather travel with new peeps than stay with the culture of my family. Go my own way, so to speak. So yeah, there you go. There's some background lore for both myself and my OC. Where the heck am I going? Oh, we're done. I must have killed the thing I needed to... That works. I've been monologuing. I could probably actually head out this way now. This is closer. The white hair I largely chose, I know it's overused, but since I've technically had this character design for over 15 years now, question fades are, is it overused or is everybody else copying me? But in all seriousness, I don't really mind. The character had short hair as well, because in the initial design outside of Final Fantasy XIV, this OC doesn't actually have hair, they have feathers, so hence why they're so much shorter. Obviously it's hair in this universe, but having a head full of feathers that looks like hair is the initial design. There was also a curse that went throughout their entire body, but it sort of looked like a black scrawl that is on the initial character, but a aura has black scales, so it sort of translated nicely into that. Tiny? What's tiny? I did also make the character as tall as they can be for an aura, but they are still shorter than what the character would initially be. My height is 5'7", so I think your max as an aura is like 5'2". I want to say it's between 5'2" and 5'4", so they're a little shorter than what I'd like, but close enough. Chocobo Keep, finally. Well met, traveler. May I interest you in a Chocobo porter? Ah, do not tell me. This is your first visit to the stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. Porters. So this is fast travel too, although not quite as fast. Porters are similar to rental chocobos in that they can be hired to carry you quickly to various destinations, the difference being that you cannot control these birds and they will not stop until they have arrived at their destination. On the other hand, porters are trained to take the safest route, meaning that they will never be attacked while in transit, unlike your own chocobo. So basically, you can use this to fast travel back to other towns for a fee, although I say fast in massive quotation marks because it is not at all fast. You have to chocobo yourself from point A to point B, and it's a ride. So if it took you 10 minutes by chocobo to get there, it'll take you 10 minutes to come back. So, yeah. If it's a long way, get yourself something to do in the meantime, because you'll need it. Like I said, eventually we'll get our own chocobo, so I don't have to worry about that unless I'm really lazy. Gwynlada seeks courageous pioneers who can tame the wilderness of Summerford Farms. Summerford Farms bears the charge of Admiral's Settlement Initiative. We are rewarded handsomely to the brave new frontiers. Yet we fail to fulfill our part in the bargain. The grant will be withdrawn. In spite of this, the washed-up pirates elect to laze their days away. There is still time. We need only clear away the rocks and debris from the area to be deemed settled. If you are willing to help, you will find a shovel outside the hut on the hillside. So yeah, humanoid dragon has always sort of been like the form this OC in particular takes, though since my old Final Fantasy XI character was a Mithra, or Mihote. Obviously I'll use that for one of the OCs eventually. Obtain somebody's shovel. There should also be, I think it's probably up top. Story. Oh, Aetherite. We gotta attune to the... Forgot. I need to actually unlock these. Teleport learned. I think we... By learning the spell Teleport, you are now able to travel instantly between Aetherites to which you are attuned, accessing the teleportation menu by selecting Teleport under Travel from the main menu. Unlike other spells, Teleport does not require MP. I think we've already been through this. I'll read it just in case. And instead uses a type of naturally regenerating spiritual energy. A small fee of gil, which is not small at the beginning, must be paid to the keepers of the Aetherite so they can maintain the crystals and defend them from those who would seek them destroyed. The fee varies depending on travel distance and remoteness of the Aetherite location, so the further away you go, the more it's going to cost. Registering an Aetherite as a favored destination will reduce the amount of gil required to travel there. Up to 3 favored destinations can be registered at any one time. So yeah, teleportation is not free, hence why there is also the Chocobo Porter, which takes longer but is cheaper. Gabold ahoy! Ostifer's prudence benefits its posts. The Watchman always sees threats far over the horizon, which is all well and good, but the stag nymph swarming at the gates demand my immediate attention before ugly heads that haven't reared themselves in recent memory. Still, I know better than to disregard the bidding of the Yellow Jackets. Ooh, it's an increase. Might not seem like much now, but this is how it works. Alright, how ugly is it? Ah, you must be the adventurer Baderon promised to send along. Bren, wasn't it? You honored his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stalwern, the old bastard, as Baldron likes to describe me, and this here is my humble orchard. A good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas, and if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did one for our ship like it did so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. Gotta make enough to survive, I guess. I had to feed myself and my crew somehow, and Admiral Merylweb's, I can never say these names, initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers work in the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to tending the soil, you see. And unfortunately, the botanists I called to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need to be a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. Oh. Even more stuff. I'll just get money. I already have bitter boots. I've been around the world. Next. Yeah, you get either a grimoire if you're an arcanist, or daggers if you are a... Shoot, what do they call the thieves in this one? Anyway, Stalwyn, owner of the Summerford Farms, wishes to inspect your equipment and thereby gauge your readiness for the tasks in mind. I have a mind to set you a task, but before I do, I need to be sure that you're properly knitted out. Pirates don't care to parley with dandies, you understand. It might well be that the ones here have traded their cutlasses for coulters, but they're still rogues at heart. I know a solid set of gear when I see it. Come back when you think you're more suitably equipped. Equip your head, body, hands, legs, and feet with gear from level 5 or greater, and speak with Stalwern. Hopefully it doesn't include accessories, because, yes, the accessories that, despite being higher level, suck worse than your level 1 ones. You can view, equip, and remove gear by selecting the character under the character from the main menu. I already showed how to do that. To equip an item, first select the desired slot. This will open your armory chest. From there, you can select the item you wish to equip. Finally, from the subcommand menu, select equip to put on the gear. So it should be good. Let's have a look at you, shall we? Oh ho! As long as you think this is well covered, I won't feel any guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers are an ordinary lot. They rage in love for the sea, and care little for the laws of the land. But they respect strength, and by the looks of you, I'd say you have a little trouble getting their attention. So if you still need gear at this point, just go around and do other quests to go get it. You know, like I've been doing. Ah, Nightmare, that aura of confidence tells me you've not been idle since we last met. I hope I've read you all right, for I've a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? Good to hear. Then I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You'll have heard rumors of the abductions. Aye, citizens have been disappearing from every corner of Limsa, as if plucked from the face of the Heidelin, boots and all, by unseen hand. And what's this got to do with Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen, but it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure-tattooed faces have been creeping up to the edges of the fields and spying on my yeoman. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times, but the farmhands are convinced that they're the kidnappers of rumor, come for their hides. Needless to say, they've bathed themselves with worry, and their work's suffering for it, which is the very least thing I need with my old crewmen still getting used to their new jobs. 'Tis a struggle to get them to leave the farmhouses. That is, as they say, where you come in. Would you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Good. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner this place will start to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by looking around the Seasong Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Be careful, though. I couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. And if they are kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, alright? Quest accepted. Birdrakes, Lanasi, and oranges are ripe and ready for picking. I can't even rely on those rotten pirates to pick the ripe oranges. Yet if I leave them here a day longer, they're like to fall from the boughs. Mayhap you can grab a few for me? You're not afraid of pesky hornet or two, are you? I've been stung before, it's not that bad. Surprisingly, in the decade or so I did of fruit harvesting, I'd only gotten stung by a bee once, and it was my own dang fault. Since you have to climb cherry trees in order to get sweet cherries, you can shake the tart ones, you cannot shake the sweet ones. So they would have people go up on ladders and stuff, and I grabbed the branch, not realizing there was a bee on it, and yep. If you put your hand on a bee, you're you're in for a bad time. And the only other time I've gotten stung, since I've only been stung twice in my life, was when I was a little kid barefoot and I didn't realize there was a bee in the grass. Oh. Wasp! Yeah, we're back to killing things fast because of the new weapon. Few points can make all the difference, especially early in the game like this. Part about the whole curse thing on the character too. Obviously it's just aura skills in this, but originally that came from back when Sky Online was an MMO. It no longer is. But one of the limited items that they had was a dagger, which if plunged into oneself would cause a curse, and if you managed to get lucky enough to undo the quest of the curse, or keep it at bay more like, you would get access to a Reaper skin and skill set, which is what that is about. But if you failed, for over a month, your character would turn into a zombie. Just a shambling husk of bones. I was one of the few people who not only got the item, but managed to complete it as well. And as a result, the design has kind of stuck on my character ever since. Look at those luscious oranges brimming with nectar. They could drop any second. Ripe to perfection. How sweet it is. If that lackadaisical lot of retired pirates came down with scurvy, it'd serve them right. Just goes to show you can't teach an old sea dog new tricks. You'd think the Admiral would know that. But that's the thing with vitamin C. They're storing it wrong. Vitamin C will deteriorate over time if left in a juice form, hence why you can't transport like lemon juice and orange juice as a way of reliable vitamin C because it breaks down over time, but you can keep it if you turn it into a powder. So that's how Long Journey anti-scurvy is made, but we wouldn't figure that out until long past the whole colonization days. Anyway, just a little science for you. Berdrake seeks to restore equilibrium by having the local fauna culled. Lanasi's orange and nectar is sweet, but it's assured it's paid for in sweat. We have to pollinate each orange by hand because of the blasted pucks that prey on the nearby bees. If we could only eradicate 5 puck hatchlings, it would save us from having to do nature's work. Yeah, pollinating by hand doesn't always work either because the enzymes in the pollen can be very fragile. And it's fine to be carried by a bee because bees use electromagnetism as part of the ways that the pollen sticks to their body. Yes, but bees are electromagnetized. Have fun with that fact. But if a human does it by like touching it with like a paintbrush and stuff, sometimes we unfortunately break down the enzymes necessary to pollinate. So a few are sturdy enough for self-pollination via human hand, but a lot are not. You've certainly proven you're not one to let obstacles stand in your path. If only those supposedly pioneering pirates were half as industrious as you. Expanding borders is all well and good, but the Admiral ought to know rugged frontiers can't be settled by layabouts. As for oranges, I'm not sure if they can be pollinated by hand. I'm too far north for oranges. Okay. Let's see where our quests are. That's back at home. That's back at home. Puck hatchlings. We can do some limes, and I have considered it. But lemons and oranges are too tropical for us to grow here. However, most people think like, oh, it must come from a citrus fruit in order to get vitamin C. No, tomatoes actually have more vitamin C than a lot of citrus fruit, so... You can get your vitamin C that way. It's also in blue pines this far north as well, which a lot of natives used to do. They used to boil the nettles of blue pines into a tea, and that's how they got enough vitamin C in the winter. Where's the quest? Report to so-and-so. Is there a person here? Huh? Hello? Am I not directly on the... I'm Lurkers in the Grotto. Does it... Huh? Report to what's his name at the... I don't see... what it is I need to do here. farmlands, have a look at men. Investigate the Seasong Grotto. Investigate the area. Are there sparklies I'm meant to see? I'm confused. Hello? Game? Am I not where I'm meant to be? Tis this not the grotto? Do I need to kill fishies first? Should be a cave nearby? I mean, maybe, but that's not where the marker's pointing me. Wounded Auroch. I need some of these. And yes, for those of you wondering, the Besaid Aurochs are indeed named after bulls. Sort of like how we have a football team in the Americas that are called the Bulls. I am so confused. Investigate the grotto. Yeah, because a grotto is usually like some sort of cave, isn't it? But I see no such thing. Maybe it's further up north? Like this is a river and then like go up the river? Maybe up there? No? I'm pressing interact. I don't see it bringing anything up. It's not that cavern. Keeping my eyes peeled for any sort of shiny. There's pirates I could attest to. Too. On the grassy area, there's like a hole in the ground? Okay, I'll go back in a second. Oh, I don't have my... I need you guys to separate. I don't have my tomahawk yet. Speaking of which, let's actually put that back where it goes. Normally I get a... Eventually I get a tomahawk that I can throw. That makes it a little easier to lure them out one by one. Grassy area. Hole in the ground, hole in the ground, hole in the ground, probably on the other end of the river. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's under the river. You know what? I have a distinct feeling like I did this in my original playthrough too. Thank you, ZT Freak. Like, I think that got me the first time I played this too, because my brain in its fully literal sense is like, oh, go to the exact spot. Don't realize there's an above ground and a below ground. Oh, bogeys. I need these apparently as well. Alright, stone monument. Finally, we can continue a story. You're about to enter an instanced battle. Instanced battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the confirmation displayed at the active help window before answering any call of duty. Special instances. I should be okay? I should be? I'm actually not 100% sure. Do I want to go back and get an axe before I... You're about to enter a special instance. These areas are reserved for important battles which feature unique environment conditions for powerful boss enemies. Instance objectives can be confirmed in the duty list. I know what's here. I remember what's here. Also, it's kind of like telling us, but... For the duration of the battle, you will be unable to pass beyond the red line displayed in the field. You'll automatically leave the instance once all the objectives have been met. So that's sort of like an area boss. Do you think I'm good enough for this now, or should I... I know it's level 9 and I'm level 11, but... There is like a better... I'll do it. There's a better weapon I could get, but...
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not.
You're just gonna drag me into this?
As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence.
We're just gonna be chill as this thing barrels towards us?
Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
There we go, level sync. I'll deal with that later. Wait, am I not? Oh, because I'm level synced, I can't draw its attention. Yes, I've already explained level sync. Let's just get that out of there for now. Yes, our cultured conjurer. Also, how's the audio level, if I may ask? Can you still hear my voice over the music? Oh, it's summoning bogeys! Oh, and I can't multi-hit either. Doggone it. Doggone level sync. Oh, we've started a party! Not the fun kind. And this is why I play as a marauder for the main story. So I don't get me ass beat.
Phew.
A little bit of a callback to the Final Fantasy I crystals, as that's what these look like.
Hear, feel, think.
It's that voice again.
Crystal bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
So you go, kill a monster, have a drippy
Awake
dream.
again, are we?
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh!
I'm sure you do.
Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business.
So I'm the only one who kind of feels a little bit sad that we had to kill the Gubu to get the knife out of its back.
The days ahead promise little rest, I fear.
I mean, the poor thing was only hurt.
May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
You know, the giant one you refuse to talk about. Also, am I the only one? No spoilers, don't actually tell me. Am I the only one that doesn't fully trust the Great Crystal Hydaelyn? Because, full offense, trusting crystals in a Final Fantasy game does not tend to bode well. The heck am I going? I'm going this way. What is this way? This way is, okay, good, there is stuff here. Like, should I? Let us return. So we were able to do it. That's good. I remember the first time I did this. I think I did it with like a level 1 axe and had trouble. Usually, so long as your equipment level and your character level match up to what it expects of you, you're typically okay. Though for other character classes, it can be a bit more difficult. Part of the reason I chose Marauder is just to make this part of the game easy. I need to get up to Endwalker ASAP. The buzz on the wind tells me you've done the deed. Only pest plaguing my orchard are those woeful whelps out of water. If only you could rid me of the parasitic pirates as you did the pesky pucks. Ah, Nightmare, I'm glad I'm able to see you safely returned. The lads were all gabbing about hearing what sounded like a 7 hells breaking loose near the grotto and feared I'd sent you to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope it yielded something of interest. I'd hate to think you'd risked your life for naught. Sailor's knife. A blade pulled from the back of a creature you slew at the cave, huh? I'd agree that such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think that these ruffians are pirates, come to lure my farmhands back of a life of plunder. Chances are they don't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep, and set a maddened Gabu out on you. Aye, the pirates have been adding to their numbers as of late. I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on guard against their schemes. You met someone else at the grotto? A woman with a strange contraption. Ah, Y'shtola. She's been in Limsa Lominsa for quite a while now. Her studies of the Aether often brought her out to Summerford, so her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an odd-looking lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word for that. Where trust should be lacking in these yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish in the pirate pass, the temptation to return in free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks. If it weren't for the efforts of a stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would be in far worse state than it is. But you just keep on leading your talents to those in need, huh? Help bring Limsa to the bright future she deserves. I gotta pick one. I'll go potion. I don't know if I've ever used an ether in this game before. Hired hands are nowhere to be found. Ceased lost Sir Severin and his lot, never around when there's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round them up and let them know that Stalwart would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. What do you mean you'd sooner hire me? I have fruit growing experience, sir! Alright, where the heck? Probably down below. Work? I can't work when my hands are full lifting this mug. You know, I'd wager my last gill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Swill water? Swill wine? Swill wine. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing Stalwart's turns if it's forced me to taste some proper grog. I would guess absinthe, actually. Around here. Probably on the outside then. Closer to the edge. No? Yes. Are you hiding in the bushes? Ugh, how am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess what I had for breakfast. Ash tuna. Ah, how'd you know? It's my breath, ain't it? Probably smells as wooden as the food tasted. But I know why you're here. I'm just as soon get some real food in me, but ain't one to reject a summons from the captain. More around here. Something, anyway. Down in the river, maybe? Ah, there you are. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what they did to my... You know what I did in my sailing days? Wonton slaughter. You bet your bosom I did. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'd have to be satisfied tanding my axe to the trees. Actually, it was made for the trees first, but... As I said, most weapons were originally farm tools. Let me guess. The bridge? Probably up on the bridge. Or the side of it. I need to get up here first somehow. Yeah, there we go. So, Stalwart sent you. What do you reckon I say to that? Work is for the weak and witless? Damn right. Don't get where I am by taking gruff of any glorified gardeners, but I suppose I can see what he wants to get him off my back. And I think last one. There he is. I am Severin. You the old man's errand girl now? Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride it on out. Tough crowd. But I didn't ride on a chocobo. I came in from the sea. From where? Who knows? I don't know what lies beyond Eorzea. I haven't made it that far in the story. You continue to impress, but all but Severin are accounted for. It's no fault of yours he squirmed out. I let that worm wiggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt where all such worms belong. Stalwart worries his lack of oranges will not reach the Thangren checkpoint as planned. Pains me to say it, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some like you who could be trusted, but then there are others. Until now, I've had no choice but to rely on the charlatan Sovereign, even though I'm fully aware of what he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once, I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't at least be surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me. I'm sure the wrongdoing's afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. Okay, all the way down there. Good gracious. I miss my chocobo so much. Make it so much easier to get from point A to point B. But I digress. I will go. Actually, since we're right at the gates, I might report to the Axe Master first. And then I can come back out and hit these right in a row with better stock. And of course, the further in the day it gets, the more names appear in the plaza. Since I'm on Eastern Standard Time, it's usually not quite as populated in the mornings for me. Because most people in the West Coast are asleep. Welcome back. Your actions have saved me from many needless injury and anguish. But through your efforts to be commended, there is yet much work to be done. Kujata, the objective of your vengeance, has trampled a farm's wagon as he has thundered through the lands of Tiller's Rest. The foodstuffs spilled from the overturned vein have attracted all manner of hungry predators. Without produce for the market, the farmers will surely suffer for coin this season. Your duty is thus clear. Put down those rapacious scavengers and preserve the cargo. Okay, and that's gonna be where now? Middle of Nasi. Oof. Alright. I'm trying to streamline this as much as possible, but you know, there's only so much you can do. Bloody hells. I'm up to the straight with about a paddle. Alright. Target and... doubt. What's this now? Stalwart sent you for the oranges? Huh, so the old bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventurer types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. I'm gonna get ganged up on, aren't I? Yep, they're level 5, it's no biggie. That it? Alright, everybody. On your feet. I owe you one. Would have gotten away myself if not for Severin shoving me aside. Don't really know why there's a timer to this, but I digress. If you hadn't come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. finally... Severin sent you? Huh, the way you flew out of here, I'd sure he scolded us down a river. You saved me, mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I can't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like your cut of jib. Take it to Assign and send him my regards. Bring the oranges back, I guess. I'll probably bruise to a pulp. Okay, I could have sworn there was... No? Nope. Nope. Hang on. That's up there. I could have sworn there was like another quest down here, wasn't there? Wait, I'm going this way anyway. Alright. Yeah, there is. I think there is. Yeah. Osteophere. What are we here? A delivery from Summerford Farms is scheduled? Ah, it's the first time for everything. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing either. About the only things not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Stalwarn's payment in full. With you, I can trust it'll reach him. Osteophere hopes to assure the safety of the wayfarers at the Lethargian checkpoint by ridding the area of its dangerous denizens. More and more travelers pass through these gates, bloodied and bruised, just each day. They tell me the Yazrans harry them at the Rogue. It pains me to do nothing, but we need every man we have just to hold the garrison. You would do us a great service were you to thin out the Yarzan population for us. If you could clear out, say, 3 of their nests, we'd be in your debt. And they are where? On the way back up. Gotta go this way anyway, so might as well. Getting the gist of how this back and forth works. Big daddy long legs. Let me guess, they're all gonna be in the river, so I might as well stay in the river. What low blow is. Stunning targets. Okay, that I'm gonna actually put over here. Are you kidding me? He wants me to go back. No! I'm about halfway. This game. Like I said, eventually you'll unlock faster travel, but I think it has it in part do this for now, just to make sure that you fight some enemies, get your level up, but I've been doing more than fine with that. In my own time, thank you. That and quests give way more experience now than they did when 2.0 first came out. Ah, so you did for the Vilekin. Every passer through owes you a debt of gratitude. Lithragan is vital stronghold. One of the Maestrom will defend themselves had they the means. The fleet is spread too thin, which is why the Yellow Jackets have been called in. But our numbers are hardly inexhaustible, and your help goes a long way towards preserving the peace. And now we've opened more quests! Yay! Which might we have 3,000 gil and how long does it take to warp? Yeah, let's just warp. Let's just save our sanity. It's not that expensive right now. Back in one piece. That's a relief. How did you fare? Here's your money. This is what I was aiming for. Looks like we're all to be owed, alright. Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I'd not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those godforsaken goblins... Well, you do well to mind yourself around the 2 gil cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. Alright, Civil War... And all classes. Better than what I'm equipped with, so I guess we're doing the thing. It's so ugly. Gukrint seeks fertile soil to improve the yields of its newly plowed fields. Blast, at this rate the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam, just a bit could send our stocks soaring. I'll bet you Ratawa knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard? High potions are in short supply at the Tiller's Rest, and Kamnar hopes to remedy that. If you're headed to the Tiller's Rest, I have a favor to ask of you. The pirates have been away from sea too long, and their broken hearts turn bloodshed into solace. A full supply of medicine lasts barely a week. If you could buy a high potion and take it to Wayloaf, you may well save some lives. Quest accepted. Ah, you're who I'm looking for. That gherkin's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But you dare pinch some off the cookpot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels work, take the black loam to Prefwall at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Ooh, I need these actually. And that's how you knock out an entire set in one go. Okay, there's more this way. Come back. Vulnerable. Why invulnerable? Also, the blue one is ally attacks, so don't worry about that. Hello, person. Do you wish to get a hit in? I'll let you get the hit in. So that way you may partake in this event. Go ahead, there you go. Good job. So you can get some experience from it, so I don't hog it all. I'm plumb out of potions. And sorry, Sufferer knocking on my door. May as well be knocking on Thal's. All I can offer is some prayer. There you go. Were I a God-fearing man, I'd say you were heaven sent. As the dust settles from the next pirate brawl, some sorry soul will owe you his lousy life. I pity the poor fish out of water. At first I thought the fights were just to kill time, but now I believe some truly have a death wish. There's naught that can be done with that. We can't make them want to live. All we can do is hope that they learn to love the land. Basically, pirates are getting into brawls between duty. And as a result, if we don't heal them, the farmhands die. Because nobody knows how to behave. Alright, overturned Wayne. Any more? There we go. Right, done and done. Deliver the package. There's something else over here. There's also another quest. How is this gonna look? They're probably not gonna mess with me because I'm too high level, that's right. Enemies won't touch you if you're too high a level above them, even if they are otherwise hostile. But that might not be the case for this one. I felt like the others weren't attacking me though. Well, maybe they will. I must not be high enough yet. Maybe it's 10 levels above. Alright, fine. Let's herd some cows. Black loam in the cow area. You know what this means? It's poop. It's Auroch poop. Right, next is there should be some sort of quest over here. There it is. Tova, a skylift operator, is looking for someone to assist with her megalocrab woes. Ah, for the love of layman, not again. The leather's ripped in bloody shreds. Ah, there's not a rye with me breeches, you cheeky sod. It's the megalocrabs. They've been at the balloon envelopes I left out to dry on the rocks. The hellspawn snipers think they found a squid or something and are set to nibbling. Less the balloons in the air mean less cargo gets lifted, and that don't sit too well with me. You looking for a quick job? How about you crack a few shells before you head off? You're on your way. You could put down 5 or so of those buggers. That ought to do for now. Level 10. Okay. Slightly stronger enemies, but we should be okay. Yeah, we're good. And apparently I need those for my hunting log too, so it works out. Marauder level 10. Difficulty rank unlocked, so that's going to be new hunts. I'll show it off in a second. Right, alright. So if we go into our hunting log, we'll see that we now have more stuff. We were in rank 1, so once you complete everything that's available in rank 1 of your hunting log, it'll unlock rank 2, etc. So now our hunting log has completely updated and we have new things to go after. So that is what that is. Basically part 2 of the quest. Mostly this just exists to get you levels faster, as well as encouraging people to actually fight enemies that they see and not just pass everything. You take care of them, snippers. Good bloody riddance. Nice work there. Still, it won't be long before a new crew of crabs comes sliding in to claim that territory, and our loads just keep getting heavier, what's with the rebuilding going on. If I don't want to be buried under a mountain of crates, I'd best think of a more lasting solution to this snipper problem. Right, let's see what we got here. That's going to be in Limsa. That's going to be in Limsa. That's going to be... It's sort of equidistance either way, so... I guess we walk? I want the other stairs. And those are elementals. Those aren't, quest shinies. This sounds like a boss fight. I am not doing one of those by myself. Nope. How about no? Not with my current set, anyway. Plus, we got things to do. Ah, even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. Well, I mean, if you're all you got is sand, you're not growing anything. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. Haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach, huh? You know, you guys raise dodos. You could always use the dodo droppings. I mean, chicken poop is fantastic as a fertilizer, I must say. So, yeah, get yourself some dodos. Oh, don't tell me Gurkint and Rwanda neglected to mention where the black loam comes from. Well, surely you figured it out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from the Aurochs' lair, of all places. Well, why not Why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the Black Lum, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. He didn't mislead me on anything, buddy. I know what poop is. I'll probably just go with these. That doesn't look like strength 1. Dexterity 1. I don't see that being a bonus. I'll just go money. Prefwell needs stolen farm tools recovered. Confound pirates. They know nothing of tillin', only killin'. Stealing our shovels only to melt and forge into axes of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds them, the mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself if I hadn't sworn to Stalwern that I wouldn't fight no more. So I need you to bring back our farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. You're melting down shovels to turn into daggers? Then you are the idiot, because a shovel is an amazing weapon. Oh dear, it's gonna have me in here. Any way for me to get you boys without getting all you boys? Nope, it stunned me. Thought I was out of it, guess not. Are we good? I think we're good. Some dude's chasing me, but it's fine. If he gets close, he has a death wish. I wonder what those sea dogs would try and steal when there's no harvest. Good to see the tools back and in serviceable condition, which will be more than what we can say for Severin when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Spied him meeting the pirates in secret, I did. Couldn't care less if the wastrels won't work, but he consorts with cut purses and takes our tools away. He's crossed the line. Stalwart not to know what sort of scallywag he's dealing with. Take word to him, would you? Somebody has to grow the food. If you keep stealing all the tools to grow the food, you're not gonna have food to steal from anybody else, and then we all starve. Get it through your thick skulls. Pirate's making off with tools? Ferrell did well not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. Actually, blood is quite decent for your crops, but anyway, I'll be damned if Severin thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. Can I get it? Ooh, better axe. Yes. I've come to expect a great deal from you, and you've never once let me down. Yet what I ask of you now goes beyond what I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? There's reason to believe that Severin's up to no good. Something must be done. It eases my mind to have your ear. You're no doubt familiar with the scoundrel Severin by now. Well, the scheme in Scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been sulking about in a manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up rogues and buggered off with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. I ain't exactly damning, but when last I had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he's wanted. So I was hoping he might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. The ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose it reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice to say, I'd rather he didn't come me to a sticky end. As for how to find him, try asking Grinwilda at the Aetherite. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. Nothing that passes through those gates escapes my notice. I saw a rouser and rabble set out to the Woad? Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Cheeky sod said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was they had pickled their brains in. If you find the idle swine, be sure to give him a cuff around the ear for me, would you? And away we go. Oh, new X. Yes, +2. Again, better than what we had before. Better looking, too. Clearly meant as a battle axe and not a wood-cutting axe. Down to where we were before. For some reason in my memory, this is where the Gabu fight was going to be, the Gubu. So that's kind of part of why my brain forgot it, but no, something else is here instead. And I got the two mixed up in my memory. All the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastards done. Claiming to take the lads out to drink only to lead us straight into a bloody trap. They don't get no lower than that. Of course, I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready, but the others weren't so lucky. You've got to help them. Well, I guess we need people to make the oranges, even if I don't like the people. You guys again? Didn't I just save your sorry hides? My axe may as well have been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards are done for. Severin might have gotten us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than have that conniving bastard's debt. To arms! Level 13. Proceed to battle. True knave, you betray even yourself, Severin. Were you prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with subtle replacements? That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will do not a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all that you have left. And worthless though it may be, we shall take it. Hello, masked dude from my dreams. No mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. We got ourselves a golem. You are strong, but are you strong enough to withstand this? Withstand what? Oh, that? You mean just getting out of the way? Yeah. Yeah, I think I am. Whatever that was, I think I withstood it. That the golem could be vanquished. My guy, it was a level 1 monster I find on regular fields. That person is no ordinary adventurer. Ah, the snake slithered away. I'm glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. Those pirates do not belong to any of the known Leminson factions. Whom do they serve? The beast tribes? Surely not. But the timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge of Sahagin and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is, what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if that should prove so. Limsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone 2. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. The sea continues to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. Ah, so this was taking place in 1.0, because 2.0 is after this sucker hit. And ilm by ilm, the world becomes ever more unlike itself. It's as Louisoix foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream I would possess the means to see Aether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace. Here, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes that great hole in the sea its training ground. Join in the celebrations. Wait, a disturbance in etheric flow. But whence does it emanate? Seasong Grotto, perhaps? What have we here? Can you walk? "'Tis I. Regrettably no, he eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore. You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has appraised me of all that transpired. His account sheds some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem of all things. A golem is a mindless automation, inept save for when commanded to be otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But these tattooed wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of the Sahagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first, I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stalwyn will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit. Ah, he told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Justola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the aether in the hopes that it might offer up some clue to our predicament. I say I owed you my life, but that doesn't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would have been dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms and I'll face the consequences. For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me. Mayhap we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshaled my thoughts. Until our paths cross next, farewell. And away we go! Which is where? Let's just warp. Have Gil, will warp. Though I won't get my primary means of making Gil until much later. Not until the next main town, at least. Because I started in Limsa. I could start sooner if I hadn't started here, but shouldn't be too much. Lo, I knew you'd return. Justola delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back too, the lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver. A thrall to the Sahagin. 7 hells. Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, see, but the Reavers have never followed a word of it. A few years back they started snatching law-abiding Lominsians. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to the new Sahagin masters. I knew I had to get away. Sahagin are also sentient beast tribes in this game. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and word soon spread all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offered me a way out instead, my freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter... I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking. Too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got here in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear 'em talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that, I do. That's why I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt, Stalwyn. I owe you a debt too. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the men of my farm. If I could ask one more favor of you, it'd be this. Tell Baderon what's happened from start to finish. I'm certain he'd put in a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. And he's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. Well, I reckon I've asked you all that I possibly can. Safe travels. Aight, so all this, I think, is back in Limsa, so I'm lazy. We're warping. And let's be real, the missions pay me, so it covers my travel expenses. What's with all the parasols? Is this like the newest thing? Oops. Yes, take me to the drowning wench, please. Thank you. Yeah, later in the day it gets, the more populated it gets. Once people wake up and start getting out of work and stuff. Bloody hells. Life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. Ah, but you needn't worry yourself over Severin. The Yellow Jackets eat out the punishment as good as a mate of mine. If I ask him nice, I reckon he'd be willing to commute the lad's sentence from hanging to keel hauling. Kindly gent that he is. I'm only jesting with you. I'll see if he's treated fair. Now, it sounds to me like you've done everything old Stalwart asked of you, and more, justifying me generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged. As for a reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How'd you fancy keeping her company for a spell, with a free room and board? Yay! I finally get my log-out zone! Venturing's a tiring business, after all. Thems don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. And take that from me. Fighting ain't neatly so much fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that? Good. There's always be free bed for you, so make use of it. Inn rooms are now available. Now that you'll have much time for laying around, what's with all the loves you'll be doing? Oh, didn't I mention? I'm putting your name down for leaves. Leaves? Leaves? I don't know how it's pronounced. Our guild draws all manner of clients from offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how many folks will pay to avoid doing an honest day's labor. Just give Tamokri a shout whenever you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have a task or other for you to do. Guild leaves now available, which are sort of like temporary quests you can redo over and over. Oh, and it's all above board, in case you're wondering. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side in here, unlike some pirates I could mention, I tell you. If it turns out they ought to do with them kidnappings, there'll be 7 hills to pay, a proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhap that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to right it. But we'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. You now have access to recommendations. This feature displays a list of quests or duties currently available in your area. The recommendation list can be opened under Duty in the main menu and will be displayed automatically when you log in. If you find yourself unsure of what to do next, this tool makes it simple to locate activities suitable to your present class and level. Basically, they're like temporary quests that you can do for extra rewards. But you can only do, I think, so many a day or a week. I forget the actual time frame, but they do, after a time, take a while to regenerate to do more. So eventually you will hit a wall with that. Madaron, the proprietor of the Drowning Wench, has a suggestion to put you in the road towards new adventures. How do you fare? Rested and ready to expand your horizons? Well then, I've an idea where you might try heading next. Have you heard of the old skylift out in the middle of Nasi? Well, if you've ever witnessed the Woad Whisperer Canyon, then you must have been up and down the thing at least once. It's a big bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You've likely seen the lads and lasses out there using it to haul up cargo off the cliff face. And labor. That, and I hear they can use an entrepreneur's soul to pick up the odd jobs that no other bugger has time to deal with. Track down the head of the operation, bloke by the name of Workhit, and he'll be sure to put you on a task or two. And the leave meet. It's responsible for assigning guild leaves that the Drowning Wench has offered and give you introduction. Greetings! Battaron has been most effusive in its praise of your accomplishments. Have you considered putting your abilities to use in the Adventurers Guild by undertaking a guild leave or two? Guild leaves are the means by which we document requests for assistance from the citizenry prior to assigning them to adventurers possessed of the necessary skills. From battlecraft leaves that require the extermination of monsters to tradecraft leaves that ask for the creation of goods, the tasks we term leave quests are many and varied in their nature. Should your interest be piqued, I suggest you make your way to Swiftperch and speak with Swigskiff. That's a key smash of a name. He'll be happy to set your feet on the path to completing your first leave quest. Sir, we need a new name for all these NPCs. Just plant your face on the keyboard. There's your new name. Oh, I forget it rains and stuff in this game. Where am I? Where am I going? Delivery. Where is that? That's down by the fish stuff. Where is that? Can't tell where that is. This way. Yeah, I don't think I can take on any new jobs and stuff yet either. Aye, this dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss, a house of deep reflection and meditation, so unless you proper business with us, you should kindly bugger off. What's this then? A parcel from the Brugier Consortium, huh? Let's have a peek inside. Ooh, walnut bread and ginger cookies. And a few of them Bismarck finger sandwiches, too. The Consortium culls know the right way to show appreciation. Some of them sisters have unholy appetites, so I'd best save a few bites for myself before I take this inside. You just let Janassim know we're always here should her boss have a need for us again. Yeah, I can't take these yet, because this is where one of your jobs gonna be for a thief. I think I might need to be like level 15 or something. Yeah, because here's fishermen too. What is the... Well-wishing welcome to you, adventure friend. You've worked your way to a fisherman's bottom. When you want to fish for a day, you can call it culinarian, but we fishermen's feast for life. I've set the bait. You ready to take the bite? I can't start here yet. I thought it would tell me, like, what the level requirements are, but it doesn't yet. Nuts. Swift perch. That's going to be in a new area. It's going to be down by the crystal. You've delivered the package as I requested? Very good. I shall pass on the sister's sentiments to my superior. What manner of services do the dutiful sisters provide? Continue your stay in Limsa and you shall likely find out soon enough. In fact, if you're confident in your abilities and comfortable with the unconventional, you might wish to approach them yourself. Alright, Marauders Guild. Once again, your capacity for carnage has been tested and proven. The creatures you defeated, however, were merely some of the many base scavengers that subsist on the scraps left by the wake of Kujata's rampages. To face Kujata himself yet requires far more training, but do not despair. As Axe Master and fellow Marauder, this I swear, I will not rest until I have taught you how to wring every last ounce of power from your weapon, until the blade of your axe can slice clean through the thickest hide, the most knotted muscle, the densest of bone. This menace will fall by your hand. I went through rocks, I'm pretty sure I can go through bone. You may find yourself drawn to explore the possibilities offered by other disciplines and guilds. These distractions are inevitable, and perhaps necessary. But I urge you soon to return to the path of the Marauder. I do not wish for your edge to dull just as you've begun to show such potential. Fare thee well. I bet that's him saying you can now take on any job you want. Let's see, +2, 1, 3, and 1. Well, always take the one that has the most, so... Oh! Oh my gosh! That's in this game? Hang on! Let me out, let me out! Her companion! It's from near! You now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock the other classes to be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist of the corresponding guild. There exists a myriad of disciplines in Eorzea, and adventurers can take that up. For the most rewarding experience, however, it is recommended that you first focus on mastering your current class. I'll do what I want, thanks. It's Mama! It's a little Mama ghost from Near Reincarnation. I didn't know this was in the game. I knew other Near things were. I didn't know this was. Anyway, got distracted. Unlocking classes. You now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock other classes can be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist at the corresponding guild. Which I was kind of trying to do earlier, but oh well. It should be noted that in addition to martial classes, you may also choose to become a Disciple of Hand, one who synthesizes items with on-hand materials, or a Disciple of the Land, one who harvests resources from the field. Mastering more than one class is the first step to becoming a well-rounded adventurer. I haven't fully decided how I want to do those, whether I want to do them on stream or make them into their own videos. It might depend whether it's like land or hand, which one I choose. But our next class will not open until, I believe, every 5 levels, so I think in one more level I would technically open up the next class. So every 5 levels, be sure to check in with your job quest guy. Skylift. Okay, that's gonna be over here. I've not been attuned to this yet, so there's nothing I can attune to over here. I might just warp out to get to that. Makes me wonder if the courier is also going to be a ghosty that you can have as a companion. Really quickly too. Where's this? This is going to be in the next area, so... This one is on the way. It's our main quest anyway, so... And of course, I can't unlock teleports until I get to them, so one step at a time. Literally. Is my stream still going? Hang on. There was a network error. Okay, we're good. Down below, I'd think. Batarang sent you out here, did he? Then consider yourself welcome at the Skylift. Look at that bloody cliff, will ya? One blast of fiery hell from that huge dragon was all it took to split the ground in half. Cargo still needs to get through, though, so this mess of wooden pulleys was our solution to the problem. Well, it does one of them, at least. If the gods were kind, and they ain't, I'd have about a dozen more workers to handle me growing list of headaches. Okay. +2. Some pants. Action learned. Alright, what do we get? This one was provoke. Placing yourself at the top of an enemy's list, so if this don't work enough, this will get the rest of the job done. Class quest rewards. There are some actions which only can be learned by completing specific class quests. For example, the ranged Lancer weapon skill Piercing Talent is acquired by completing the Lancer's Guild quest available at level 15. Basically, some skills you only learn by completing your job quests. And yes, you will need to do those if you wish to ascend your jobs to like the next rank. So for Marauder to become Warrior, I do need to get these quests done. Thanks a million. Work hit. A skylift operator needs to recover a cargo load abandoned by a terrified wagon driver and deliver it to its intended recipient. Glad I am to see you again. A wagon driver just returned in a great bloody hurry, screaming about some monstrosity which sprang out of a million corn seedling in his cargo. Don't know what that is. Seems like the gutless bastard tossed it over the side before turning tail and running for his life. I need you to head down the road, recover the seedling, and deliver it to Leaf over at the Swift Perch in western Lanasi. Whatever he pays for the cargo is yours to keep. After all, I don't rightly know what else is lurking inside that plant, and you deserve to be rewarded for your troubles. Oh, and you also will find an Aether Light in Swift Perch, so the journey should be worth your while. The cargo transporter in the Skylift needs a helping hand with keeping his fist fresh. Look sharp, I got a job for you. You won't got much time, so listen close. Today I got too many fish and not enough water sprite cores to keep them cool. You see the problem? Now I can't be delivering crates of rotted fish, so I need you to head over yonder and dance with them dripping sprites till you've collected 3 of their chili essences. You do realize I don't want you to actually dance with them, right? Depends on the job class, my guy. One more. All right, turn back. You back already? Don't keep me waiting now. Let's see those cores. Ah, you done well. Can't wait to get these beauties in my fish crates. That'll keep the catch fish and me customers happy. There's a whole mess of delivery companies that make use of the Skylift. You slip up one time and some bastard's liable to steal your business. The cargo transporter at the Skylift wants you to slay buzzards that have been attacking wagons on the road. You've shown yourself to be useful. What do you say you do me another favor? We've been having a wee problem with the buzzards swooping down and snatching cargo from the wagons when we're traveling the road to the Neville checkpoint. Most days, the feathered hellions stay well enough away, but it seems that the can't resist a wagon was loaded with meat. Well, I say we make use of that weakness to lure the greedy buggers into a trap. Take this sack of rotted meat and set it down in the vulture territory. That'd be where the buzzards make their nests. When the bastards show up for the feast, you start breaking beaks with a vengeance. Easy! Well, it's on the way, so might as well. was gonna say, I got them both. Don't cheat me out of a reward. Just because I kill him fast doesn't mean I didn't kill him. Some sort of anime technique BS where they, like, slice through them and the guy doesn't realize he's dead until he crumples apart. Didn't you get your eyes pecked out, did you? The buzzards be a nasty lot. But the lost wagon made it through with nary a morsel lost, so I'd say you plucked enough of their thieving hides to secure a route. Since the presence of a powerful musk? What? A powerful mark. I don't know what that means. You have me to thank. You have me, thanks. I make the most of me coin hauling foodstuffs, and I'd be bedding down in the gutter within the week if it weren't for your help. Seems even the scavengers are finding the pickin' scarce since the calamity hit. Otherwise, you'd never see him trying to act so bold. Fortune did favor him worth spits this time, though, huh? Right, onward to the quests in the new zone. Oh, something sees me. Ooh, you're stronger than I thought you'd be. Well, I guess as we go, we're gonna encounter enemies of similar rank to ours. Goodbye. Didn't know I'd been spotted. I'm gonna need to take him out before I can... Oh, slugs! That's why he tossed it. Slugs! Now what? Swift perch. They're both at swift perch, so away we go! Achievement. New area. Unlocked. See the 8th right in the distance. First things first, always attune with the crystal. Leave mates. Greetings, my name's Swigsgift and I'm in charge of assigning local level quests here at the Swift Perch. Tomokri sent you away, did she? Well then, let's get started. Right after we see how you've got the brass to overcome the challenges you're likely to encounter around these parts, take a look over the task outlining this guild leave. I reckon you can handle it. Accepting guild leaves. Speaking with the local distributor of the guild leaves known as a leave mate will bring up the list of available leave quests. Highlight a quest to display its objectives and select accept to add to the quest of your journal. Leave allowances are required to accept leave quests. You will be granted 3 leave allowances every 12 hours Earth time, aka real life, up to a maximum of 100. Every 12 hours. Okay, so that's what it was. That I told you you only get so many at a time. And that's because the amount of time you don't do them up to every 12 hours, you get 3, so over time they start stacking up. You may accept as many as 16 at once. Alright, we're gonna accept one. Good to hear. Megalocrabs, they like to run off to their mates when they're feeling outmatched. If you don't want to find yourselves armpits deep in snippers, you best finish them quickly. Open the journal under the duty main menu and begin the selected leave quest by pressing the initiate button. When a megalocrab feels outmatched, it will flee the battle. If it reaches a certain distance, then another megalocrab will appear. The leave quest objective can be more easily achieved by slaying the fleeing creature before it's joined by more of its kind. To initiate a leave quest, this part may be confusing. First, open your journal via the duty section of the main menu. Next, select the leave quest to bring up a detailed description of its objectives and its rewards. Selecting the map button will show you the approximate location of the leave quest objectives. Though you can initiate leave quests at any time while in the corresponding area, it is also recommended that you wait until you're close to the objectives before doing so. This will increase your chances of becoming eligible for a completion bonus. Once you have arrived, open the journal, select the leave quest, and press the initiate button to begin your duty. Basically, go to the green zone. Hang on, I'm going to talk to the porter to unlock this. Moment Traveler, may I interest you in Chocobo Porter? Do not tell me this is your first visit to the stop. I shall update my register with your name, and that you may access this location in the future. There we go. Now I can porter to this location. Say, go to duty, journal, I think. Grabbing crabs. You have to initiate it, so your home point is not set to an Aetherite in this area. If you return to your current home point at any time during the leave quest, you will automatically abandon the duty. That's fine, whatever. +4 levels above what it currently is, so that would be level 14. I'm gonna lower that because I'm a coward. Leave quest duties, so we have 20 minutes to get it done. Once you have initiated a leave quest, the location of your quest objectives will be displayed in the minimap. Leave quest targets can also be identified using the distinguishing icon displayed above their names. During a leave quest, the duty is replaced with information regarding quest objectives, the leave duty time, remaining time, and more. Rewards are only granted to those who complete all the objectives listed within the time allotted. Duty complete. When all leave quest objectives have been completed, you will be given the opportunity to return immediately to the issuing leave meet and collect your rewards. So I think we can teleport directly there. I'll just do it once to prove a point. When you initiate a leave quest, you'll be given the opportunity to adjust its difficulty. The greater the difficulty settings, the higher the target level enemies will be. Difficulty also affects the completion awards. So I just did this one in low to be, get it done. Leave quest difficulty can be lowered at any time during the course of the duty by selecting the quest name in the duty list and selecting difficulty. Please note that the leave quest difficulty cannot be raised once the duty has been initiated. You seem to have had a bit of trouble. Here's the reward for your efforts. The bonus has been awarded based on speed of completion. I reckon you'll do just fine with the rest of me jobs. And there's always plenty to do here at Swift Perch, what with all the rebuilding and such. Be sure to make yourself useful. City-state leaves unlocked. Believes you're ready to join a guild test. By the by, a sturdy adventurer like yourself might want to look into guild tests. Have a word with Battle Warden Tiroro and she'll give you the details. Don't you fret now. I'll set her straight if she has any doubts in your ability. Okay, when it looks like this is just the base ones to take, I'm just getting them unlocked. Has Nemea herself forsaken the desolate land? Though I understood there were risks in gambling my entire fortune on a crop of millet corn, I at least expected the seedlings to be delivered before the disaster struck. It's million corn. I wonder if it's because it has a million seeds on it. Is that my million corn seedling? Oh, joyous day. It seems a paltry beginning, but the yield of this particular variety of crop plant is nothing short of astonishing. And you have undoubtedly noticed Swift Perch lacks a certain, shall we say, vital energy. Thus I mean to restore a modicum of hope to its residents by growing a veritable ocean of corn. Me too! I live in the corn as well. You seem fit to be burst with vim and vigor. Might I persuade you to abide a while and help nurture the sailing settlement? Okay, what do we get? It's good, actually. I think this is the new one. Yeah, it is. Better. farmer of the Swift Perch settlement needs your assistance with another part of his restoration scheme. I don't know if I call it a scheme. All those wild dodos you see about the place were actually once domesticated birds, bred by my father. They broke loose during the chaos of the calamity and gradually became feral, ill-tempered creatures we now do our best to avoid. But if I'm to restore Swift Perch, the very same settlement it was when my father was alive, then I must also try my hand at dodo raising. And as you have likely surmised, I shall require your adventurer's resourcefulness in this endeavor. For the initial stage of my dodo rearing enterprise, I need you to head into the flock and seek out dodo nests. You'll be looking for fertilized eggs. 3 of them should do nicely for now. But pray be careful with liberating the eggs. The adult dodos will not take kindly to an intruder making off with their offspring. Fun facts, pigs are the same way. Pigs are extremely dangerous if they get back out into the wild because they will return to being feral. Like, they'll even start to regrow tusks and everything. Freyloaf, a yellow jacket on guard duty in Swift Perch, wants you to visit the Brewer's Beacon and investigate the reason behind the waning light. You there, adventurer, cast your eyes toward the Brewer's Beacon. Does the light not seem uncommonly weak? It cannot possibly be bright enough to guide the ship sailing by the bay. I would march over there to the lighthouse and investigate myself, but I am duty-bound to remain at my post. I would consider it a favor if you could make a visit to the Brewer's Beacon and see if aught has befallen Conwis, the lighthouse keeper. But yeah, feral pigs are very dangerous, and they're known to attack people too, which is not good. Word travels quickly in Swift Perch. Here to learn about guildhests, are we? What's a guildhest? Why, it'd be a hest issued by the adventurer's guild. Savvy? When a certain task brought to the attention of the guild is a little too grand for a leave, but not grand enough for a grand company involvement, they're deemed guildhests and sent to yours truly. But don't let the lack of grandeur fool you. The tasks aren't but simple. Most take place in tight quarters and all require precision teamwork between you and your battlemates. And so what do you get in return for placing your neck on the lopping block? Besides a beam and grin from the battle warden, Tiroro Tiro, fame, fortune, the usual. So I presume you'll be joining our next operation. Duty Finder unlocked. Guild tests now available. Duty Finder has been updated with a regular duty. You've unlocked the Duty Finder. This feature allows you to undertake multiplayer duties without having to form a party on your own. To bring up the Duty Finder interface, select Duty Finder under Duty from the main menu. Guild tests are special operations organized by adventurers, guilds, and overseen by NPCs known as Battle Wardens. Speak with the Battle Warden displays a list of all guild tests currently available. Please note, however, that each operation has conditions, such as levels or class, that must be met by all party members before the duty can be commenced. At first, you may find that only a limited number of guild tests are accessible, but do not worry. As you progress in level, the number will grow. Guild tests can also be accessed via the Duty Finder, removing the hassle of trying to find and gather a party. Alright, so I think those are more like multiplayer leaves or something, which is why I don't think it gave us one, which I'm fine with. And I need the dodos anyway for the eggs. Ignoring the fate that I walked into because they just bring up at random. Probably trigger more than enough dodos by just attempting to get the eggs. So I'll go for the eggs first. Just sitting there, don't even care. Like I said, brain full of floof. Head empty, no thoughts. See? I knew we'd have enough dodos to get this completed. where's the... There's the eggs. As well as regular dodo eggs. Alright. Deliver the dodo eggs to Swift Perch. Oops. That's a fate one. Don't care too much about that. Like that. Right there. That person's riding a chocobo. Eventually I'll be able to do the same. Just not yet. With 3 eggs, I should be able to experiment with breeding. Success or failure is not terribly important to begin with. I mean, only to gain some practical experience with birds. Yes, you did exceptionally well in selecting only fertilized eggs. Now that I consider it, I'm not entirely sure how you managed to tell. In any case, I must raise the naturally aggressive dodo from the egg if I'm to ever have any chance of surviving the breeding process. Apart from encouraging a more docile behavior while the bird is but a chick, it is imperative that I remove the gland that produces the infamous poison breath. My father's notes quite graphically depict the consequences of failing to do so. It's really rather exciting. Every day I take another step to my vision of a swift perch surrounded by golden fields of wheat and echoing with the calls of plump waddling dodos. Like in Final Fantasy XII, they raise cockatrices, which are cute, but have the ability to turn you to stone, so careful with that. To avoid the buzzards, I just go to our destination here. Which is at the lighthouse. The buzzards must not be one for the warrior. I'm pretty sure they were for summoner though. Or arcanist. You say Yellow Jacket sent you here? My light's grown dim, has it? Well, of course it bloody has. The bomb what fuels my furnace has been buggered off, you see. If I don't get a beacon fixed up soon, there'll be trouble on the water. I know you're just the messenger, but call out adventurer when I see one. I'm gonna need you to chase down the bomb and bring back a claw what you ripped from its smoldering corpse. Take this here iron blazer and set her down in the middle of the flock, somewhere near the scarecrow, I'd say. You get a nice fire going and the frisky bomb will soon be about. Watch you don't singe your eyebrows. Yes, bombs are a sentient, well, not sentient, they're a living organism in Final Fantasy, so if you're not used to that, he doesn't mean go looking off for a Molotov cocktail, he means it's a literal enemy that goes kaboom. Yeah, not sentient. There's plenty of sentient beast races, but this is not one of them. Alive. Not to the same degree as people. Light the fire, and could have sworn it wanted me to do something. And obtain the bone claw from the torch drawn by the flames. Do I need? Oh, I need to interact with it. There you are. Defeat them quickly, or they go boom. Take it back where it needs to go. Which is this way. Lighthouse is this way. Don't mind the crystal sprouting out of stuff. We'll get to that. All you need to do is take the runaway bomb and bring me one of its little claws. Ah, you got the ashy bastard, did you? Once I put this little firecracker in the furnace, that should keep things from running for a while. I had myself a bit of a look while you was gone, and Limline cursed me if the furnace weren't all bent and broken. Small wonder the blight bomb was able to escape. I patched things up as best I could, but I ain't no smithy. You might want to have a chat with the yellow jacket friend of yours in Swift Perch and have him pass the word back to someone in Limsa. Yep, I guess the fate is done. Alright, so we could go this way. We could go this way. I don't know, either one is not like super duper close. Oh, I guess they both have their own crystals, so it's fine. I kind of forget that there's a crystal here. We need one in one of the other farm areas, though. Sometimes I feel like it's too sparse apart for certain crystals, and then other places like this has one for some reason. Why? I'm not complaining, but also, why? I attuned to it, right? Yeah. The furnace is damaged, is it? Very well. I shall write up the relevant reports, but these repairs must needs effected without delay. It seems I have another favor to ask of you, adventurer. Take yourself straight away to the Armorer's Guild. Limsa Lominsa explains the situation to Forge Master Hanaza. Alright, now we can head out the other way. So I'll probably just end up warping back to Limsa. I'm gonna head to the Forge Master. And that's probably too where I'm gonna call it a stream for the day, since it's getting close to 5. And there's some stuff for the hunt log. Like I said, if they're on the way, I'm getting them. All done in that front. Well met, traveler. Might interest you in a chocobo porter. Don't mind me. This is your first visit to the stop. I shall update my register with your name, since you may access the location in the future. So we can now chocoport myself there. There's mail if you need to get your mail. Tune to the Aetherite, so that me may warp in other ways to basically always check for 2 warps, the chocobo and the crystal. Skybuild seeks the aid of an able-bodied adventurer. You look like an adventurer who gets around. Maybe you've noticed the corals and jackals at each other's throats as of late. I've never seen anything quite like it, and the bloodshed only worsens by the day. If this continues, I dare say one of the groups will wipe out the other before long. Now it bears mentioning that this species of coral isn't native to Vilbrand. By rights, they shouldn't even be here. Nay, I believe they were smuggled. I know of a merchant who may have a hand in these dealings. Her name is Rokantai. After some probing, I've come to believe she's somehow involved. I would question her myself, but she's likely to flee at first sight of yellow. That's where you come in. I need you to speak with her and learn all you can. Take a look around. She's bound to be nearby. What's this? They've sent you to do their dirty work. Well, you never take me alive. Never! And away she goes. Albeit not really far if the map is anything to go by. Did you forget there's an ocean here? So, about that ocean. Please don't hurt me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I smuggled the corals for breeding like you asked, but that's it. I ain't the one sending the jackals into a frenzy, I swear. Huh? The Yellow Jacket sent you and not the pirates? Why the hells didn't you say so earlier? Well, you've caught me. I'm behind the corals in Aleport. Those good-for-nothing pirates had me breed jackals for 'em, too. With the right training, they make for nasty watchdogs and the like, but the pirates warned more and more, and that's why they asked for the corals, that they did. I smuggled them in, but the pirates took them before I could finish the job. Suppose they don't want to wait for the breeding, but the buggers let them escape. Now they have jackals on the loose trying to get rid of the corals and cleaning up their mess. I'm a victim here as well, you know. They paid good coin for the animals, but now you've got folk chasing after me, wanting to cover their tracks, I'm sure. You hurry and tell the Yellow Jackets I ain't to blame, you hear? And this is why you don't mess with the natural state of the fauna around you. I see so many people making like, oh, naturalistic goldfish ponds in our local river, and it's like, you fucking idiots. You're gonna completely ruin the ecosystem. Ah, you're back. What can you tell me of Rakante's dealings? She claims to be a victim as well? That was her greed that brought the corals to Vilbrand, and she's surely mistaken to think that the Yellow Jackets will turn a blind eye. Mark my words, she will be held accountable. At any rate, we now know why the corals and the jackals are trying to tear each other to shreds. The pirates have been quite careful not to leave any clues, but we've managed to capture Rokotani's assailants. They're being questioned as we speak, and it won't be long before we track down the pirates. Don't worry, friend, the Yellow Jackets will see them brought to justice. In the meantime, there's still the matter of Rakani and the beasts running around the fields. I shudder to think what may happen should those jackals and corals continue fighting on much longer. I have a plan, but your assistance is essential to its success. Let me know when you're ready to begin. Just two, I guess. Man's best friend. Skybuild is ready to set his plans into motion. Rokotani has admitted to breeding jackals for pirates, but I fear she may be concealing more to be smuggled elsewhere. I bet you speak with her once more to prove my suspicion true. If she wishes to play the role of the victim, perhaps this time she'll be more forthcoming with information. Tell her that although we cannot grant her impunity, her cooperation will ensure a lighter sentencing. And part 2. Now then, we need to do something about the corals running wild in Vilbrand as well. Jackals have greatly reduced their numbers, but the presence of corals will upset the balance of predation in Aleport. Given time, they'll establish a breeding population and perhaps even prey upon more than just animals. A large number of merchants, sailors, and travelers pass through Aleport daily, meaning a great many people will be at risk unless we stop the corals here and now. As much as it pains me to say this, they must be done away with. I like this no more than you, but we Yellow Jackets must put the safety of the people above all else. Reports indicate that the corals were last sighted somewhere in Skull Valley. When you're ready, pray seek them out and do what needs to be done. Sorry, but you can't upset the natural balance of the ecosystem. It's just bad. The Yellow Jackets wants to know if I'm hiding more jackals? Fine, I'll come clean if it preserves my liberty. All the jackals are long gone, but there's a wolf put I was looking after not too far from here. Jackals are easy to come by in Aleport, but wolves? You can be sure folks will pay good money for them. With the Yellow Jackets breathing down my neck as of late, though, I haven't had time to care for him. The poor thing's probably too weak from hunger to move. I'll tell you where I hid him, but if you want to take him, best move now. What with the corals running wild, killing the pirates, jackals and all, it won't be long before they start snooping about for more animals to train. I have to warn you, though. He may be a pup, but he's likely to make a meal of anyone that gets close to him. Try winning over his stomach with this here succulent bone. If that ain't enough, try rubbing his belly to soothe him. You can bet he'll follow you everywhere. The little critter's in Quarterstone. Better hurry before the pirates find him. And away we go. Protect the baby coral. Mew mew. Come here, kitty. Baby coral looks at you affectionately. And hedge moles, since we're right here. There we go. Hedge moles. The one is down this way. Oh, and dusk bats. I guess if it's on the way. Even if I'm not a fan of my current damage output. What is my... Yeah, 10. Not too bad, but... That's eventually going to be a quest thing. I'll get to that later. Sprint needs to charge faster. Wish it didn't take the whole 60 seconds to do. I wish it was only like 30 seconds. Because, I mean, at that point, if an enemy's on your ass, it's gonna kill you either way. Here you go. Feed him. And now we soothe. That you need to spell it right, dum dum. And now we have pets. Yeah, see, that's level 50, stay away from that. Don't aggro the big boy. Why are there big boys? Because eventually things get much worse. Let's do coral. Welcome back, adventurer. How did you fare against the corals in Skull Valley? I see. So this baby coral is all that remains. Truly a shame it came to this. Most of the jackals died fighting against the corals, but it would seem you slew the pirate's last litter while saving this one. Let's at least take solace in knowing the bloodshed has ended. There's a bit of good news to be had, however. I received word not long ago that a group of pirates related to the investigation was taken into custody. To instigate such carnage without scruple, the true animals in this case have been placed behind bars. With any luck, their leader and remaining members will join them shortly. What to do with this baby coral? It seems quite fond of you, almost as if you were its mother. The The yellow jackets are not fit to care for a coral, especially when fully grown, but we cannot simply release him back into the wilds. I suppose there is only one option. Friend, I leave this baby coral in your capable hands. I'm sure you'll do what's best for him. And thus we get minions, aka pets. You have obtained a whistle with which you can summon your very own minion. To learn call minion action, you must first use the whistle. Once you've used the item, a new entry will appear in the minion guide under character in the main menu. You can either initiate the action from the menu or set it to your cross hotbar and initiate it from there. To send your minion away, simply reselect the summoning icon. Minions can be summoned or dismissed at any time, and the whistle has no recast timer. Once you've learned the summoning action, you will never lose it, and it can be with you at all classes or jobs. You may only summon one minion at a time. While minions do not generate any enmity, neither will they participate in battle. If you are KO'd, your minion will simply wander off back to where it is. It rests until you call upon it again. So pets. Just pets. They don't do anything in battle, they're just purely aesthetic. I heard from Rokatani you went looking for the starved pup in the Quarterstone. Do you have any luck? Ah, so this is the pup Rokatani has been hiding. Well done. She was here not long ago, as a matter of fact. It seems that she's willing to cooperate with the authorities to help set things right. But that's not all, friend. While you were searching for this pup, a group of pirates related to the investigation was taken into custody. Couldn't have done it without your help. The ringleader is yet to be found, but perhaps Aelpor can enjoy a moment of respite. All that remains is what to do with the pup. He seems to have taken a liking to you. Perhaps it'd be best if you looked after him. There's simply no room for him at headquarters, and letting him wander about on his own is out of the question. I realize how sudden this is, but please give him a good home. Alright, I think it's an inventory for these. Yeah, I think this is the whistle for it, so... use... You can now summon the coral minion. You can now summon the wolf pup minion, so there you go. Once you use those, abilities, they go into your minion guide for you to summon at any point. And to summon them, I believe you go into, one of these. Commands, minion guide. There we go. Maybe able to summon it from here. Summon, there we go. So there you go. That's how you summon a minion. Dismiss it to send it back. But you can summon and unsummon your pets at any time. This is just gonna be a leave mate. Or one of the Adventurers Guild's representatives for local leave mates in Aelport are seeking adventure to undertake guild leaves. You need work last, name's Orwen, and I'm a representative of the Adventurers Guild. Notice the hat? I keep a record of tasks of what locals need doing, then dole them out to adventurers that look capable. Now you look capable, but the last sod I reckoned was tough enough got his face bit off by a bleeding wharf rat. You need to prove to me you can handle these jobs. Take a look at this here task. Does it seem like something you ought to do? Sure, why not? Alright then, you need to beckon to your client, Memoroon, and help lead him to his destination. Use the beckon emote to lead your client to safety to its destination. I hate these ones. You may find it convenient to add more emotes to your hotbar before beginning the guild leave. And honestly, I think I'm going to do that one another day, because it's already 5, so I'm going to have to go pretty soon. So, with that being the case, where is this? This is going to be in Limsa anyway, so I'm going to warp my butt back to Limsa. So which way is the... This way. Head back up to the Drowning Wench so I can go to the inn. And we can log out safely. You can log out anywhere, but I like to log out in the inn just because, one, you get the bonus experience, and two, it kind of guarantees me that I'm not going to accidentally bump into anything. Greetings, lass. What can I do for you this fine morning? Retire to an inn room. Have a nice rest. And there we go. This is our room. We have a comfy feather bed, a journey that tells us everything we need to know, so if we need to re-see scenes or brush up on when we last played, we can do so here. This is our glamour dresser and our armoire for storing fashion in the future. Toy chest is going to allow us to play minigames. You can summon your attendant here to sell stuff on the market, and you can also change the music. But this is where I tend to hang. So Dream Fitting, this is the online store, so if you want to buy monetized equipment you can do that there. But this is where I'm typically going to leave things off, is probably in the inn like this. So this is where I'm going to call it a stream. I will probably go back and record the intro cutscenes, which were not originally a part of this. Seeing as I've technically already seen them once, but I can replay them, so I'm going to record those and probably edit those into one of these videos. So with that, this is what I'm going to call it for now. Hopefully the audio levels were decent. They kind of looked like they might have been on the high side, but again, it's so hard to set stuff up like this in a new game. We'll get more of a rhythm going to it, and I don't know if I'm going to do jobs as their own videos or if I'm going to weave them into the main playthrough. I guess we'll see. I've made way more progress than I thought I was going to today, so yay! So if you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV content in the future, feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in future streams. Bye-bye!